Hi, my name is Kisima Team. I am the founder of Youth for Survival NGO. Youth for Survival was meant to focus on only youth because I felt that our young people do need guidance and hand-holding and to be given a direction and a bridge to cross through to their bright futures. You would meet young people that say, I'm done with schooling, I'm finished, only to find that it's mere metric with horrible results. And some would not know they can proceed to university. They would say, because of financial constraints, I can't. They don't know their bursaries. So I started an organization called Youth for Survival to address exactly those ills. But having started Youth for Survival, I realized that there's a bigger need in the community. So we evolved and became a community development center. Looking at Granny my age, what can Granny do? Is she getting her pension? Besides pension, is she still strong enough to make sure that she brings something home and also to keep her young? Like your beadcraft, your sewing, and it happened. Not knowing that in that community development center, women will come and say, we're abused. I don't have anywhere to go. That is how we started the shelter for abused women. We were fortunate that we were given by the city of Tshwane 3 houses. One is an office, the other one we're using it as a creche, and the third one is actually the home for women that are abused. Having women in the shelter, when having conversations with them, some would say I had troubles of not being taken seriously in the police stations. And then we partnered with SAPS and Community Safety, who are in 5 police stations, with social workers, auxiliaries, and volunteers. Now, when a victim of abuse goes to the police station, before they go to the police, they meet our trained personnel. From the victim empowerment in police stations, we also realize that, poverty and unemployment is part of the equation in this abuse. So we give women skills training, they get counseling, they start their small businesses, they've got flea markets to make sure that they put bread on the table, not only depending on the men. And there came COVID-19. COVID-19 came with a lot of ills. We lost a lot of loved ones, but also the country realized that there is a forgotten segment of the community, the homeless. Homelessness, it's something that you can be careless and end up being homeless. Homelessness is something that happens that you can inherit when both your parents pass on and relatives do not care and you don't have anywhere to go. Homelessness came to me in 2020 when my house burnt down. It burnt down with everything that I had. I'm not a smoker, I did not smoke, but it showed to me the bigger dynamics in homelessness. We are sheltering homeless men and women. And when they come with children. That is why we now have a creche. That is now we're partnering with schools to make sure at any given time or month, the woman comes to for our services. We're able to take the child to school. Because when the Department of Education says the closing date is the 30th of September, it's an example. That woman is still crying. That woman is running for safety with her children. Where do we expect her to have applied for a school in Tshwane? She did not even know where she was going to end. So that is why we need this partnership with schools. We have our own garden, as you have seen. We're starting to get more land where we'll plant our own onions, cabbage, potatoes, carrots. NGOs can be self-sustaining, especially because we are feeding close to 1,000 people breakfast, lunch, and supper every day. So sometimes funding delays, at least you can make sishebo with spinach. Government funds us to take care of abused women and homeless women. But now there is a factor that is a forgotten part of all this, the children. Women come with children. So we started our own creche to make sure that the mothers are able to look for jobs. The mothers are able to be put in skills training. We have also taken those that are school going, started a partnership with a school Because remember, when a woman is admitted in our shelter, they come at any time of the month. Department of Education says we close registration on this date. Forgetting that this woman was running with her children to safety. So we have to get partnerships with schools that will empathize and understand our background, that these women can't be held ransom to say, why didn't you come at the end of September? End of September, she was hiding with her children. So we've got schools that we're partnering with. We feel we cannot wait for government all the time. Some of the things that you can do, we will do it for our own children. And also to make sure that these children, when they grow up and get to school, they are not left behind just because the mother was in a shelter. We are praying and waiting for funding to come, but still, that will not stop us from looking after them. And I am grateful that we're in this space. This is a space that makes me feel whole. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes there are joyous memories. For instance, today I had a surprise when somebody says, I've written a poem for you. I don't deserve a poem. To God, all the glory it can go. But I'm grateful to the departments that are funding us, especially the Department of Social Development. At least what is my dream now has become reality. And we are who we are because of the support of our sponsors. We have got a beautiful veggie garden. We supply our own food. We are going to be planting our own onions, potatoes, carrots, so that when funding is delaying a bit, we are able then to get into our garden like we used to do in our homes, in our villages, and get food from the ground.